I know what it's like to wake up and see your worst enemy in the mirror.
Ryan Haymore grew up in a Mormon family in a small town in North Carolina. For years, he grew up like any other kid, but then he discovered something about himself which changed his life forever.
The first person to come out was myself. I was scared to death to even acknowledge it.
In elementary school, he started to realize he might have been different than other kids. As a result, things started to get difficult.
In the 5th grade, I think I know, you hear some people say like at 5 and such. I really didn't have a libido at 5, so I can't say that I knew I was gay at 5. But in the 5th grade, I did. I remember I had a teacher who had humongous boobs, and everybody kept talking about him. I thought, yeah, they're boobs, all right.
Not surprisingly, things didn't get any easier in high school.
In high school, I had a ton of bullying happened. People don't really know, people don't really see. There's a lot of people that saw but didn't see. There's this whole Nelson Mandela effect that it's going on right in front of you. I mean, people were spitting tobacco out in my locker and putting notes with the word fag written on it. That same word that I get called at school is the same word that my family and people at church use to describe gay people, so I sure as hell ain't gonna come out to anybody.
It didn't stop there, as things got worse.
Yeah, around that time I started getting really depressed, and I ventured into cutting. And I cut for years. And that was the start of the depression. I was depressed. And there's nothing worse than being depressed when you don't know why. They diagnosed me with bipolar disorder because I would have ups and downs and ups and downs. But it makes sense now. I would have these periods where I could safely cut myself off, safely, no pun intended, could safely roll my mind back and pretend as though nothing's going on, but then something would creep up and I would know. And I would cut. And it was awful. And nobody saw that. Nobody saw it. They saw it, like people saw the bullying, but nobody did anything about it. Because I think deep down everybody knew something was there. You know, something's wrong with Ryan. Something's different about Ryan. It's not as if I really have always hid it under a hat, so to speak. But something was different about Ryan, and everybody knew it. I knew it, but nobody knew what it was. And so I didn't get any therapy until 17, 18, around that time.
The problems never went away, and when Ryan left for his mission, things got even worse.
I came home from my mission because I did not have the faith to ascertain these qualities that I find attractive. So because of my lack of faith, and my lack of scripture study, and my lack of prayer, I cannot ascertain these qualities in these men. So the closest you can get utter Haymore is by having sex with these men. And I left my mission on 2,000 milligrams of Depakote, 700 milligrams of lithium, and 65 or 75, I forget, of Abilify. And so I came home like a zombie. The psychiatrist said, gay Mormons cannot exist. I've been instructed that gay Mormons cannot exist. I had relapsed into an eating disorder that I developed in high school caused of the bullying and all that crap. Mr. Ed was called my eating disorder in therapy. So when you have to use an eating disorder to be the person that keeps you company at night, it's pretty sad. So my body was all worn down from the pills. My spiritual body was ripped to shreds because the church entity that I would have given my life for was demanding my life. You know what I mean? It's weird. I mean, of course, they weren't asking that I Joan of Arc myself, but. And when I came out to my parents, I'd already gotten off the medicine because the doctor refused. You know, my body was shutting down virtually. The church said, this will all be made right in the next life. So I thought, Coach, why are you leaving me in the game? Just take me out.
All of the damage resulting from others' hate of Ryan started to take a serious toll on him, leading to a dark stage in his life.
I just found some random pills. You know, I chickened out. Thank God I did. I chickened out and I spent all night throwing up in the toilet. That happened so many times. It kept getting more and more frequent. I don't pray anymore, but the last time I prayed years ago was a solid 6 or 7 months, every night, every morning. Please kill me. Please, just let me die, please. I can't do it. I tried so many times to swerve my car off a bridge. It was that night, September 8th, that I had told my mom. She said, "What's going on? What's the deal? I know that psychiatrist asked you something. He asked you were gay, then you asked me to leave the office." She said, "Are you gay, Ryan? Are you?" And I said, I'm gay.
The aggressive non-acceptance of Ryan's sexuality hasn't only come from outsiders. It has come from his family, too.
My family and myself, we are at opposite ends of a black room, and our backs are facing the darkness. They feel something in the dark, and I feel something in the dark behind us. There's a chasm between us, I'll say there is. And for a Mormon family, when you've been disfellowshipped and I've had my name removed, that's death, that's spiritual death. I'm not going to be in the celestial kingdom with my family. They don't accept it at all. They tolerate it because I've made it pretty clear, either you just deal with it or I'm peacing out of the game. I've learned not to ask them to accept it. I don't think they ever will. I'm not the same. I'm not to them, and I never will be. It's not so much that Ryan has changed the way he lives, Ryan has changed the way he thinks or dresses or acts or whatever. It's not that. I don't get that luxury. I get told that Ryan is a changed person. They see that Ryan is dead, and they see me as something that's taken his place, that claims to be him. And it's this big, growing cloud in the darkness that separates us, that we all feel. And despite the fact that they say it's not there, I can feel it, they can feel it, we all feel it. And that's scary, and that's sad. And that builds that entire ghost that you can feel behind you. And as time goes on, and as I get more me, the church stays more church, it grows. I'll never be able to change them. I used to hate the church. Now, I'm not saying I like them. They're like an ex. I'm like, look, we used to be together. We kind of kicked it for a while. You're great. I wish you nothing but the best. You're over there. I'm over here. You live your life. I'm going to live mine. I have to care what the church thinks. I don't give a shit about the church, but I have to care what they think because they control my family. If there ever came a time when my family had to choose, I would lose.